How's it going, guys? Roogisan here. Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Eskimo. I am joined by Eskimolander, who will be answering some questions, providing she can stay awake, that I have managed to dig up from the depths of the internet and that were sent in to our special address. So, your first question for today comes from WWF1234, who is either a fan of animal conservation or an old school wrestling fan.
I personally prefer the first one, but I mean, he could be both.
Yeah, well, who isn't both? Anyway, the question is titled, Friend says that he is going to text my mum telling her I watch pornography. What should I do?
Don't worry, your mom probably already knows.
The question is, Hey Mama Eskimo, I fucked up. I'm trying to quit my pornography addiction, and I told him, meaning his friend, that if I ever relapsed again, he could text my mum and tell her I watch porn. Well, I ended up relapsing, and I decided to be honest and tell him. He told me that he was going to tell her, and right now I am paranoid and don't know what to do. My mother is religious, and I'm pretty sure she's going to tell this to my older sister and possibly my whole family. My family will never look at me the same way again.
It's your own damn fault.
Well, good point, yes.
You're the one that said he could do it.
Yep. Seems like a silly thing to do.
Can't go back on your word now. It's already been done.
Exactly. I also want to know what psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever encouraged this sort of if I relapse you can do this strategy.
I believe the doctor he got is called WebMD.
Ah.
My throat made a weird noise.
Perhaps you should contact WebMD. All I'm saying is you probably need to get some serious help.
Yeah.
Not you, I mean the guy with the pornography addiction.
I mean, don't we all need a little help?
I know, those throat gurgling noises. Could be anything. So anyway, what are we saying? What's the question? Let me find the question mark. Oh, what? Friend says he's going to text my mum telling her I watch pornography, question mark. Probably incorrect use of a question mark there. What should I do?
Like, I'm not sure if he's actually going to do it.
Well, to be fair, we're not sure that he's actually going to do it. The actual question, though, is what should I do? What do you think? Should he tell his mum? Get it before he gets thrown under the bus?
It might be better. I don't know if it's better or worse if she hears it from him or from his friend.
I'm not sure.
She says she's religious, but I don't know, like...
Personally, I would rather...
Crazy religious, or just, like, religious?
I'd rather it came from me, personally.
But there's also, if she hears it from their friend, he does have the ability to go, I don't know what he's talking about, he's just playing a bad joke.
Yeah, but if I'm the one that tells her, I could twist it to my way of... So it spins me in a positive light. That's all I'm saying.
I personally just think this guy fucked up by even telling his friend he could do that.
Yes, who does that? Dude, it's not cool. If you have a pornography addiction or watch pornography at all, don't tell your friends. Yeah. Anyway, your next question comes from Richie881. Sorry. The question is, Hey Mama Eskimo, have I been sitting on the toilet wrong? This comes from a male.
I don't know how to sit on the toilet.
Well, wait, we're gonna go into some details here.
If you sit down on the toilet and you see the lid, then you're doing it wrong.
Well, here we go. He says, Hey Mama Eskimo, have I been sitting on the toilet wrong? I'm male. Since I was 5, now 19.
There's your problem. You're sitting on the toilet.
What?
He's male. Sitting on the toilet. You're not supposed to do that, like...
Well, I'm pretty sure it's when he's doing a number 2. Anyway, since I was 5, now 19, I've been sitting on the toilet, bringing both my legs up and both feet pressed against each other, making a shape you do when you do stretches, both thighs outward. I've been doing this for a long time and haven't sat normally once. What should I do?
That sounds uncomfortable as hell.
It's like a Buddhist, a Buddhist.
I can't. Can I even?
I'm now attempting to do it.
Can I even do that? That would be so uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, but my legs are far too long.
You must be short.
Yeah, you're either short or incredibly flexible, so kudos
Or
to
you
you for
have
that.
a massive toilet.
Wonder where you were going with that for a minute. Anyway, let's actually answer the question. Number one, has he been sitting on the toilet wrong? I'm pretty sure we can both agree, yes he has.
Yes.
His second question, I've been doing this for a long time and haven't sat normally once. What should I do?
Well, I mean, you could just try sitting on the toilet normally.
Yeah.
If you find that it's terribly uncomfortable, who's watching you go to the bathroom anyway? It's
That's
just
a good point.
as long as everything's kept clean, it doesn't really matter how you sit on the toilet.
What I'd suggest, actually, is going to when you go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom with shoes on. Because then, if you've got your shoes on, and you make contact with your foot, it's gonna feel weird.
Yeah.
No, okay, you put one shoe on, because one shoe on a bare foot would feel really wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah, there we go.
Although, mind you, if you live with people, they're gonna start wondering why you keep putting your shoe on every time you go into the
If
bathroom.
you live with people, they're gonna be wondering why you shit like a Buddhist.
Why are the people you live with watching you shit? Why do they need to know how you shit?
Good question. Why do we? Let's move on. Okay.
Moral of the story, either sit normally or just don't let anybody know. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Alright, so here is a more serious question. Well, I'm sure the other one was serious, but this is from a guy called P0 Tato 0. He says, or she, it's a girl. Hey Mama Eskimo, my boyfriend wants to be really cut this summer. I'm worried that it's because he wants to leave me. He's 32, already really muscular and sexy, while I'm basically a potato. He wants to be cut and sexier. I feel like I'm being left behind. Genetically, I will never be a perfect body because I have the body of Serena Williams with just a little bit of fat. I'm not all muscle, but her shape pretty much is the same as mine. I don't know, I am just really worried about this. I mean, he could be doing it for himself since he always said he was a scrawny and tiny kid when he was little, and he didn't like that. So he worked hard for his body. So, oh, fuck, I can't be bothered reading this. Oh no, never mind.
She sounds jealous as fuck.
Sigh. Women already hit on him all the time in front of me. What do I do? Do I have to somehow become sexier? Become edgier? Do I even have to become edgy? I don't know. I feel like I'm losing grip on everything in my life. I don't know if it's just my anxiety and depression talking. I can't quite tell the difference anymore. If I'm just overthinking it or not, please help. First of all, let's discuss whether we can help someone who uses the word edgy and edgier.
We can try.
We can try. First tip, stop using those words. It is very unsexy. So anyway, I'll go back and actually look at the questions. So what does she do?
I don't know. I mean, you can't really change your body type. I guess you could work out with him. No, she doesn't sound like she's jealous of other girls. She sounds like she's jealous of him.
I think she's insecure in herself, and I do think she is jealous of other girls because she does say, sigh, women already hit on him all the time in front of me.
She also sounds like she's jealous of him.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is not a healthy thing in a relationship.
No. Jealousy in any form is unhealthy in a relationship.
True, but that's like the most unhealthy of the jealousies.
Okay, so perhaps what we're saying under the what do I do question is perhaps take a look at yourself And we're not talking
Yeah.
physically in so much as we're talking
There we go.
emotionally
I
or
guess.
your self-confidence.
Like, look at yourself and maybe try and work out.
She does go on to say that it could just be her anxiety and depression talking, so perhaps that's something that you really need to work on first.
There we go. Yeah. And maybe, see a therapist or something.
The next
And then she
question.
also says that her body is like Serena Williams.
Yeah.
Serena Williams is not a bad-looking girl. She's a little muscly, but she's not bad-looking.
She actually says, where is it? Genetically, I'll never be a perfect body because I have the body of Serena Williams with just a little bit of fat. So she's saying she's a little bit bigger than Serena Williams, but she's not muscle. So I guess hers is more just...
Serena Williams has got a nice body. It's not like
Well, I don't know. She's not exactly a Maria Sharapova or...
She's not like very. She doesn't have the most feminine body, but like, she's not ugly either.
She's like, well, if
Maybe not your type.
if tennis was the Avengers, she'd be the Hulk.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, everyone likes the Hulk.
No,
Apart from
I mean,
Loki, presumably.
Obviously, her boyfriend liked her for a reason.
Yes, and this probably is where we'll move on to the next question. Do I have to somehow become sexier? The obviously is... the obviously? I mean, the answer is obviously not, because you already have the sexy boyfriend.
So, therefore, he must find you sexy.
Yeah, unless you've just, like, completely potatoed out since you met him, and you used to be, like, some super slim, sexy cut model, and you're now...
Bleh.
Bleh. If for want of a better word, for want of a better word, bleh.
Bleh.
Okay, so no, you don't have to become sexier unless you have really let yourself go.
Yeah. I mean,
And then
well,
you
even
shouldn't
that,
be...
even if you have let yourself go, you don't really have to make yourself.
No,
sexy.
because he's still obviously attracted to you.
I
But
mean-
probably you'd need to do that for your own self-esteem, because clearly she has big body issues. Probably a bad choice of words there on my part.
The thing is with that is if it is like anxiety and depression and stuff like that, and it's not just because she's insecure with her body, even if she works out or does things to try and improve her body, if she doesn't address the insecurity first, she's always going to be insecure.
I don't know. Having a nice body is only going to help decrease anxiety and depression. You know, if you feel good about yourself...
Speaking as somebody who has both, no.
Oh. Okay.
You will, because it'll never be good enough.
Okay. Okay, so the next question, does she need to become edgier?
No. We already discussed the word itself, so no.
So, also the next question is completely mute, because that first one is basically, do I have to somehow become sexier, become edgier? She then follows it up by saying, do I even have to become edgy? Which is exactly the same as the previous question.
No.
Um,
Are you a 45-year-old soccer mom? No.
So then we'll go back to the very original thing she said. I'm worried that she's worried that her boyfriend wants to become really cut because he wants to leave her.
In my experience, whatever little it is, most men, if they wanted to leave you, they would have already left you.
Agreed. Moving on. Wow, okay, this has taken a dark turn.
Oh no.
This question is submitted by 311025, who says, I'm presuming she is female? Doesn't actually say, but presumably she's female. Okay. Urgent! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. My brother possibly tried to hook up with me. Hey,
What?
yeah. Hey Mama Eskimo, last night I woke up at 3 a.m. and saw a text from my brother that he sent at 1 a.m. saying, let's do it. I was sleeping and barely remember anything. I think he came in my room and tried to grab me and put his hand under my ass or something, but it wasn't aggressive, so I don't think he intended on the R word, me. It feels like I was drugged, but I took Benadryl before going to bed and I was sleeping too, so everything is just blurry. I don't remember seeing his face or hearing his voice. It happened so quick and I just fell back asleep after. I remember like pushing a hand away from my ass and just being like no, and then I just fell asleep. When I woke up I thought it was a weird dream, but then there's the let's do it text. I went through his phone to see if it was a dare or something, and there was nothing. I'm about to confront him, but I still have no idea what to do. I am so uncomfortable and confused. Please help.
I don't have the training to deal with this kind of issue.
I don't need training to deal with this issue. I'm going to put this out here right now.
If your brother tried to hit on you, fucking, like, call the cops and run.
No, I think this is in your head. I mean, let's look at facts here, right? She woke up at 3 a.m. and saw a text from her brother that he sent at 1 a.m. saying, let's do it. Presumably they're related, presumably they're in the same house. Well, clearly they are, because he allegedly had access to her. He isn't going to be awake 2 hours after sending a text at 1 a.m. I mean, everything in this question actually leads you to believe that it was a dream. She even says, oh, it might have been a weird dream.
I suppose.
She says, I was sleeping and barely remember anything, and then goes on in great detail to describe what actually happened. I think he came in my room and tried to grab me and put his hand under my ass or something, but it wasn't aggressive. So you can't remember much about it, but you know it wasn't aggressive. It feels like I was drugged, but I took the drug myself knowingly.
Benadryl does, weird dreams as a side effect of Benadryl.
I don't remember seeing his face or hearing his voice. It happened so quick. Well, to be fair, the thing about it happened so quick is possible, I suppose. I just fell back asleep afterwards.
How would she have known it was her brother?
Well, I think basically all she's got is this text that says, let's do it. But then she goes on to say, I went through his phone to see if it was a dare or something, and there was nothing. Does that mean that there was nothing to see if he was dared to do it, or there was nothing there at all?
Don't know. She might just be making a mountain out of a molehill.
I mean, sure, if your brother touches your ass, then you have every right to make a mountain out of that particular molehill.
It's already a rather large molehill.
Yeah, but, I mean, let's face it, from what we've got from this, there's no... Well, I don't know. I think she just needs to be sure, because if this didn't happen and it's a dream, and she then goes and confronts him about this,
well,
you
the thing is,
kiss any friendly relation to your brother goodbye.
Even if it actually did happen, if you, like, hypothetically speaking, if you were to touch one of your sisters and they tried to confront you about it, are you going to admit it?
Good point. So even confronting him isn't going to get you the truth.
It's very unlikely, because who the hell would admit that?
But that said, in this situation where I mean, sure, it wasn't full-blown doing the deed, so to speak, but I don't think in an unconsensual sex sort of situation we can really say don't do anything about it.
Yeah, there's that issue too.
Talk to someone, get help, because we are not qualified to deal with this.
Yeah. Even if it didn't actually happen, obviously, if it was a dream, it was vivid enough to still traumatize you, so, you know, maybe therapy.
Yeah, clearly. Anyway, let me just check the time. Okay, we're running towards time, so one more question.
Sure.
This one is from Garen7.
That's a weird name.
Yeah. Should any man flirt or just talk to women who are out of his league? Hey Mama Eskimo, this might sound negative, but let's say you are at least 95% sure that you'll get rejected.
Well, it sounds like you've already given up before you tried.
I think his question is, should he try?
I mean, the worst that can happen is they'll say no.
There is that.
There's literally nothing worse could happen.
So basically you've got to sort of work out whether this person that you're trying to flirt with is a stranger or if it's someone close to you, because if it's someone close to you, then that can just make things really weird if it all goes to, if it all goes downhill.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I mean, if it's someone you're close to, proceed with caution. If it's just like some random chick, worst that can happen is they'll say no.
Good point. Okay, so that is going to conclude Ask the Eskimo for this week. Thank you as always for answering.
Yeah, no problem.
And viewers at home, if you have a question that you would like Mama Eskimo to answer, you can send them to the following address: 75 Hippocampus Street, Barcelona, Samoa. And thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.